Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Confidence is never a question when it comes to wide receivers, and these two are no different. It's Brown Steelers going up against Jones's Falcons.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his first pass is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Here's Roethlisberger. And the pressure gets to him again. Brooks Reed. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up fourth. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Here's Ryan. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunky yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. They'll go again with Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Fights loose. They still can't get it. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Freeman again, a first down carry. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Nice footwork at the 25. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Freeman with a fast feet, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, a 22-yard scamper, and the Falcons are in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Hey, I want to switch gears for a second. I'm going way off the radar here, but Tariq Cohen threw a touchdown pass last week, standing at 5'6", and
towering 5'6".
You had an interesting note on this.
Yeah, he's the first player 5'6" or shorter to throw a touchdown pass in the NFL since Wee Willie Smith.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sense.
Yeah.
Punt it away. Let your defense take over with better field position.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So out come the Falcons now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Freeman again. So able to break through the initial contact and then down right near the 25. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. It'll be a pickup of 4, and the Falcons are going to get a first.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Play clock winding down. It's a give to Freeman running right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. The play clock's running down. On 2nd down, Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Time running out here on the play clock. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 73 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They go play action here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Steeler 1st down, Roethlisberger to Bryant.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit at the 38-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Flush to his right. It's complete to Brown, right side. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. On third down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Dancing to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, his second touchdown of the night, and the Falcons will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for him. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Two.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McDonald. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And an alley to run. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Now Roethlisberger. Quick hitch, complete. It's Bryant. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? Here's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. And here now come the Falcons. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And Charles